All right, we're live. So this is the very first episode. I'm going to live stream every day for the next, I don't know, 2 weeks until I think August 4th. Either August 3rd or August 4th. Yeah. So the 17th, actually until the 2nd. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17 days straight from 5 to 8 p.m. Pacific time. And the purpose of this, all right, so this is the start of the show, episode 1. I'm going to live stream every day until August, 3rd? August 2nd. So about 17 straight days starting today until August 2nd, 5 to 8 p.m. Pacific time. I live in Las Vegas, so 5 to 8 p.m. I'll say Las Vegas time, But so it's a 3-hour show. The first hour is dating app content. The second hour is dating content from Reddit, X, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all that. I'll react to popular dating content. We're going to look at modern relationships, modern dating. And then the third hour is politics. I'm going to look up some political stuff on Reddit, X, Twitter, and just give my take on things going on in the world. But yeah, this first hour, we're going to look at dating app profiles. We're going to look at Hinge, Tinder, and Bumble. We'll do 20 minutes for each. So about 20 minutes on Hinge, 20 minutes on Bumble, 20 minutes on Tinder. And what I'm going to use the profiles for is to give you dating advice and dating tips as if you were a close friend, younger brother, one of my sons. Hey, should I date this girl? Should I not date this girl? What to look out for? Green flags, red flags, pros, cons, all of that type of stuff. And so that's the point of using these profiles it really gives a snapshot of what the girl is about, right? Whether it's online or in person, it's all the same thing, right? You're going to find out most of this stuff out at some point. The nice thing about online dating is that you get it right away. Whereas in person, it could take a couple weeks or months to get to that point. So they both have pros and cons. And the way I look at dating apps is it is actually a direct reflection of your value in the dating marketplace. And so what I mean by that is how successful are you on a dating app will tell me how far you've come when it comes to dating and the value, right? And what I mean is download Hinge, for example. If you can't get any likes, any matches, then you probably got to do a lot of work, right? Maybe you're out of shape, you're overweight, you're awkward, you have no communication skills. So if you do find success on dating apps, then you'll have, I think, even more success in the real world, in reality, because all the parallels are the same. Physical attraction comes first. Whether it's a dating app, online dating, or in person, physical attraction comes first. No one can see your personality. No one can feel your humor. No one can feel how great of a guy you are. The physical comes first. When you look at someone like, wow, I'm attracted to that person. So once you can master that, then you can master anything. But that's why dating apps are a great indicator of how well you can do in dating overall. So that being said, we'll start off, like I said, we're going to go on Hinge first and blur this stuff out, just like the eyes, name. People are going to try to ban me, cancel me. They already do that on Instagram anyways. So I'll try to last as long as I can, but we'll start a timer here for 20 minutes on Hinge, then Tinder and Bumble. And so, just feel free to ask questions, or you have profiles you want to share, or send me any content and give you my advice. All right, so I'm going to read the profile first, and then I'll go through and give you the point-by-point breakdown. So typical Sunday for her is family time, beach with my mind me, good food with music. I think she meant to say beach with my mini me. So automatically she's retarded. She can't even spell right. Um, she's 34, straight, private caregiver, spiritual, not political. And she wants a long-term relationship and monogamy. Okay, so this is her being her true self at the beach. Okay. This year, she really wants to travel more. That's never a good sign. A life goal of hers is buy my house in my country. Okay. All right. So now that we went through the profile, let's take a look at, let's break it down. All right. So she's overweight. It's obvious. Bad skin. It's not a good indicator that she doesn't take care of herself. Most girls naturally take pride in taking care of themselves, especially their hair, skin, and nails. So that's off for me already. The typical Sunday where she says beach with my mind me. Her poor grammar and poor English. So not poor English in the sense of like she speaks Spanish and she just doesn't understand English, but just when they're illiterate, that's when it's just a no for me. In her late 30s already, it's a concern. This is the biggest thing you want to look out for. If they make their whole personality about traveling, where it's, this year I really want to travel more. I've gone on dates with girls where in that first date, they bring up traveling. You talk about your experiences, your adventures, all that type of stuff. And I remember this one lady, she was she was like, what do you think about traveling? Because after just a couple weeks, I just get an itch to start traveling, right? Like if I see this discount or if I haven't gone traveling in a couple of weeks, over a month, I just start to get like this itch, like a drug addict. I'm just like, no, I don't get like that at all. I think for guys, maybe it's a little different, especially if you're not born rich or we're not given really any handouts or even hand ups. You got to work. In 2026, you got to work hard just to be middle class, right? So I've always worked a full-time job, gone to graduate school full-time, and then had my gym thing on the side. Graduate school, for anyone that has gone through it, that's 20, 25 hours a week. And so I was doing that while working full-time, focused on the gym too. You're pulling 70, 80-hour weeks. And then ever since I started a second job, since I'm done with college, I got 2 different master's degrees. My first one in 2019, second one in 2024. I'm done with school and I'm just like, all right, I'll just get a second job. So now just to make $12,000 a month, I'm having to work 70 hours a week. I'm not complaining. I took that. But to me, it's like, all right, how am I going to have time to travel? How am I going to have time to be spontaneous, adventurous when I'm working this hard just to get ahead? And so many girls don't have that mindset, and it's not in their nature, right? And there's nothing wrong with that because it's not in their nature to grind a 70-hour work week. Most of them are lucky if they get hit to 40 hours, and the type of work they do is white collar, inside, air conditioned, plush, mothering everyone else's adults. So I would never date this girl. Wouldn't recommend anyone to do that as well, because you're going to see here that she does have children. So she's 34 years old, single mom who is obsessed with traveling. It's a 0. 0 out of 10. Not even to hook up. Just a 0 out of 10. She's got that millennial duck face. It's like that. I'm 35 years old, and that's what what the millennials did. They had those duck lips. So let's see how old she is. Yeah, basically 30 years old. So typical Sunday for her, grabbing brunch, doing a little shopping, or making breakfast at home and resetting for the week. Okay, sounds pretty chill. 29 years old, straight Catholic, long-term relationship, monogamy. There's something about these religious girls. Those Catholics and those Christians love to be like this. Let's see. Green flags that she looks for are consistency, great communication, emotionally mature, leads. Again, crazy pictures for a Catholic, right? You should not go out with her if you're a homebody to the core. I love balance. I enjoy being home and staying in, but I also enjoy being out. I'm not talking clubs. I'm talking about ballets, rodeos, traveling, hitting the beach, going camping, and concerts. Okay, fake lips. All right. We'll go back to the top and we'll really dissect this. Oh, what a bummer. Single mom. All right. So she's 29 years old. Single mom, Catholic, long-term relationship. All right. So the pictures are going to tell me everything I need to know, right? All right. So she's a single mom who's a Catholic. Take that for what it's worth based off of this. Again, take that for what it's worth. And you can always tell when they're this demanding and have just so much out there. You can just know they're a single mom or they've had a lot of relationships. They've been ran through, whatever it is. You can always just tell. Ah, yes, single mom behavior right here. Look at that. The tattoos, like some dude in prison, like a rapper right here. Nothing is just more masculine on a woman than tattoos. If you want to let someone know you're a low IQ, masculinized, get tattoos as a girl. No, it doesn't make you look hard or tough. Most of the girls that I've talked to who have tattoos say they got it because they felt like it made them look harder and tougher, turn guys away because they didn't want guys to approach them. Okay. So her being a single mom, the reason why you never want to date a single mom is because she is going to put her kids first, right? As she should. So you're entering into a relationship not being first, not being the priority. With a chick like this, it's probably her traveling and experiences will come second, her job third. You're lucky to be top 5 in her life, in her relationship. So if you're a single guy with no kids, how does that sound attractive, right? Even if you find this girl attractive, why would you want to help raise someone else's kids? You're not even top 5 in her life when it comes to time and priorities, right? Her being a single mom masculinized her. She had to protect and provide for herself and her kids. That turns you more masculine by nature. You're protecting, providing for your kids and your family on your own. Why do you want that in a relationship? You're the masculine one. At least you hope you are. I mean, most of these kids aren't. So I guess that might make sense. If you're attracted to this, if I want to get your testosterone checked, because this is a masculine woman. So the first thing is she's putting her kids first, her experiences and fun second, her job third. Like I said, you're lucky to be top 5 in the relationship. That's number 1. Number 2, she's masculinized, very aggressive, very dominant, protect, provide mode. So you're going to be clashing a lot. And the typical thing a lot of gays will say, a lot of women will say who get defensive is, oh, I need a real man. That's what it is. Only a real man can handle this single mom with kids. Only a real man can do that. And I'm telling you, if you ever hear that, you just walk away from that nonsense because this is a waste of your time. These girls are delusional and they try to make you feel bad because inherently they know they're of lower dating value. Not human value, dating value. Now, if you're a single dad with kids, go for it. Go for it. This is all you. I'd question the Catholic, though. I mean, Christianity in itself in 2026 has been liberalized, feminized to where they allow homosexuality, female pastors, transgenderism. Apparently, as long as you accept Jesus Christ, you can smoke weed and it's all good. It's not how it works. Sorry to let you down. Obviously, the tattoos, it talks about that, talks about modesty, it talks about even in the Bible, marrying a divorced woman. So there's all sorts of things that most people just don't realize. They just like the label of Catholic or Christian, especially for single moms. For guys out there, be aware of single moms who claim a religion because they know inherently A lot of religious guys grow up very sheltered, typically, especially if you're from the Midwest, somewhere up north. Typically, you're more sheltered than a non-religious guy. So you're gonna see a girl and just be like, wow, right? You'll take whatever you can get. You don't want to have that mindset. That's a scarcity mindset. Because she understands that she's gonna find traditional, conservative, better men in religion, in Catholicism, Christianity, that type of more conservative, traditional role. That's why you see a lot of single moms flock to Christianity and Catholicism. So guys, just be aware of that, because these women, they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they have to do to get someone to help take care of them. And you should never feel bad. You should never feel bad for that single mom, in the sense of to give up your own life to try to help her and raise someone else's kids. You want to create your own. She'll find the right single dad out there. All right, let's check out the Oregon Duck. Typical Sunday for her is going for a long run, currently training for my first half marathon, playing with my dog, and spending time with family and friends. Okay. 27 years old, straight, physical therapist, University of Oregon, long-term relationship, monogamy. Okay. Her simple pleasures are reading, laying by the pool, and dinner with friends. This year, she really wants to travel somewhere new. Let me tell you, modern women love to travel. She works out, so that's good. All right, so let's go back and let's go through it more in depth here. So she does not have kids and wants kids. Very good. That's rare. You got to understand, about 60% of all women in America are single moms. So right now, you're looking for about 40% of women. And then of those 40%, 60% are overweight. So you're really looking at 20% of all women who are not overweight and don't have kids already. So keep that in mind when it comes to the dating marketplace and competition, is that you got to be an above average guy. You can't be an overweight guy that's addicted to marijuana, video games, pornography. Just by dropping those vices alone, you're above average. If you stop smoking weed, stop playing video games, stop watching porn, you're above average right there. Because most guys do those vices every single day, and it hinders them, pacifies them, makes them numb, weak, gay, all that. So drop those, hit the gym every day, build muscle, get some abs, and drop those vices, and you're above average. Just like that. Okay, so she wants kids, doesn't have kids. That's great. Her going to college is not good at all, but we'll see. Average looking. Doesn't have like the crazy liberal hair, no liberal piercings, no crazy tattoos yet. That travel thing, though, man, I don't know what it is. Never. So even if you're like, wow, you know what? This is my type of girl. She doesn't have kids yet, wants kids, somewhat in shape, hasn't desecrated her body with tattoos. She's not overweight. It's a top 20% girl right there. Regardless of what you think, that's top 20%. She's not overweight, somewhat fit, no kids, no tattoos. That's rare in 2026. So in knowing that travel thing, that's going to be the only thing. So definitely the best one we've looked at so far. But when it comes to a long-term relationship, think of traveling like this. If she talks about traveling, experiences, being spontaneous, going on adventures, if she uses any of this feminine typology, this word magic, understand what it really means. The psychology is instability. Okay. Traveling, spontaneous, adventures, all that type of stuff is instability. You're demonstrating to me and yourself you cannot stay in one place for an extended period of time due to a lack of stimulation. And that's not good for a long-term relationship. So just consider that. I know it sounds deeper than what it is, but that's the psychology behind it. So this is a girl that I would recommend you date and be cautious of the traveling and really feel her personality out to see if, Hey, you want kids? Obviously, we're not gonna be traveling a lot for a little bit. Is that gonna be something to be okay with? Or are you gonna be over there like shaking in the corner, like, "Oh, I gotta travel." Some of these girls are drug addicts for traveling life experiences. It is just pathetic, man. All right. We're about 16 minutes. So we'll do one more for Hinge and then we'll move on to Bumble or Tinder. Take a look at that. And of course, this year I really want to travel more, because why not? Why not? Why not in 2026? Why not just travel everywhere and not focus on finding a husband, starting a family? Instead, it's traveling, the self-interest. All right, so cowgirl here. What else we got here? Those are kids? Oh man, let's see. All right, so the cowgirl this year, she really wants to travel more, and she is a single mom, 32 years old. Long-term relationship, monogamy. Oh man. Sitting at the park, loves music, blob time, so being lazy. You gotta understand, man, like when they're not traveling or adventuring, women have no personality. They have no hobbies or interests. They just lay around and watch TV and scroll their phones. That's why most of them are just deadheads. All right, so she's a single mom that loves to travel in her 30s. All three of those are L. That's the trifecta, right? In her 30s, single mom, loves to travel. Oh man, that's the trifecta right there. Once you see those three, that's 3 strikes and you're out. Yeah, just those 3 alone, it's not even worth it again, It's the same thing. She's in her masculine energy because she has to protect and provide for herself and her family and her kids naturally. Second thing is her kids come first, then maybe her own personal interests like traveling, her own experiences, her job. So you're not even top 5 in that relationship. So if you want to just be that backseat guy, the dude in the chair in the corner, then this is your girl. This is your relationship. Aside from that, it's not worth your time. Not worth it. Unless you're a single dad with kids, this is all. 'Cause another thing too is all of these profiles we looked at 1, 2, 3, all 3 in their early 30s, single moms that love to travel, right? And none of these three were even like objectively ugly, not even overweight. So you got to ask yourself, how do these girls get to this point, right? Like if you truly understand dating, relationships, and what it's been since 2020, it's completely different just since 2019, completely changed. So that's something else to be aware of is like, wow, these girls are not overweight, not completely ugly. What's going on here, right? So I didn't even really plan that, but all 3 of those were single moms. It's an epidemic out here. So we'll go to Bumble. See if Bumble has some more winners. Start that timer up here. 20 minutes on Bumble, then we'll finish with 20 minutes on Tinder. And yeah, so far with single moms, yeah, you don't want to date them. That's the advice so far. Don't date single moms for obvious reasons. There's a deep psychology. So check Bumble out. This chick, that's crazy first picture, right? 40 years old. How are you going to work in HR? And this is your profile picture. Come on. How are you going to do that? Oh. Hey, we don't sexualize her, right? Yeah, they do it to themselves. So she's 40 years old, no kids, never been married, independent, hardworking, goal-oriented, financially stable, love my family, active, go to concerts. All right. She's short, 5 foot tall, wants kids, doesn't have kids, liberal, Christian. That's not true. Long-term relationship. Explain to me how you can be a Christian and a liberal. How can you be a liberal and a Christian? Let's talk about that. Liberalism is pro-choice. Christianity is pro-life. Liberalism is pro-pride, pro-homosexuality, trans, all that nonsense. Christianity is not. So explain to me how you can hold those two ideologies. A lot of women like to hold the liberal tag because most women are liberal, truly, because of the indoctrination of colleges, social media. So they don't want to be that one girl in the friends group that's, conservative or Christian or Catholic. Just say, oh, no, I'm liberal. All right, okay. So this is a people pleaser right here. So her being 40 years old, even though she's not a single mom, man, you feel bad for her because you're like, what? How did you become 40, never married, no kids, but that's what you wanted? I'll break it down. I'll explain why she's 40 years old, never been married, no kids, but wants kids and wants to be with somebody, right? I'll explain why. She tells you, they always tell you in their own words. You just got to learn how to decode womenese. So independent. She's independent. Well, independent of who? Independent of a man. So anytime she describes herself as independent, just know you're already starting like 5 places behind. Second thing is hardworking, goal-oriented, right? She's focused on her career. She's focused on her activities, concerts, the beach, movies, and all that type of stuff. Okay. So did she waste 4, 5, 6 years in college? Perhaps. Did she waste a decade focused on her career because she's independent, hardworking? Yeah. We can assume that based off of what she said. Goal-oriented? Well, you probably want to you should have started this goal about 10 years ago. That's just the reality. This is a big problem with modern dating, relationships, is that most women buy the lie of college, life experiences, traveling. Blow away your 20s. Have fun because, hey, you can go out for free. You go to a club, bar, free access, guest list, drinks for free, everything taken care of. You're treated like a celebrity. And that feeds right into that female nature, that ego of attention and validation. Most guys got to understand the psychology of this. Attention and validation for women is like sex for us. That's just how it is. That's the reality. So a lot of these girls get that when they go out to the bars, the clubs, they get treated nice. They get to have things paid for. So their 20s, they're wasted going out because they get that celebrity treatment. Most will go to college. They get indoctrinated. Liberalism, feminism, be independent, focus on your career. All right, go ahead. Now you're 40 years old, no kids, never been married, and now you're ready for kids and marriage. I wish I could ask her, if you could go back 10 years, would you do things differently? Guarantee she's going to say yes, because people will be upset like, oh, you're judging. Oh, you're judging. Yeah, it's pretty obvious what's happening here. I want you to explain to me, is it easier for a 40-year-old or a 30-year-old to start a family and have kids? It's a 30-year-old, obviously. But you have some people like, oh, well, IVF and treatment, and of course it's possible. Of course it's possible. It's just not likely, right? So she bought the lie, and that's not for you to feel bad for her. Now, if you're a 40-year-old dude wanting the same thing, go for it. But I would try to find someone at least a couple years younger. All right, let's look at this next chick. 38 years old, graduate degree. Man. So she's 38 years old, graduate degree, and her bio says, collecting degrees, nerdy face. Back in grad school for another one, winky face. I have a pup named Josie, and she goes with me almost everywhere. Her about me, 5'3", active, good. Wants kids, doesn't have kids, good. Christian, conservative, great. Long-term relationship, good. She's active, good. Not overweight, good. All right. So the good things are she's Christian, conservative, doesn't have kids, and is active. So that gets her like 3 or 4 points. All right. And she's not overweight. So she's right now at 5 out of 10, we'll say. I'll rate her 5 out of 10. Now let's look at why she's almost 40 and doesn't have any kids yet, but is Christian and conservative. Her entire about me is about collecting degrees. She's back in grad school for another one. Winky face. Why are you winking? No one cares about that. The only person that cares about your degrees is you and all your friends, all your girlfriends in their 40s, drinking wine, watching Sex and the City or Love Island, hating men. Because under no circumstances should you be almost 40 years old, Christian conservative, but still want kids. Where were you 10 years ago? Oh, that's right. You were collecting degrees, right? Based off of this profile, you can assume she's been in school for at least 6, 7, 8 years. So you wasted 8 years in college. Let's go back. Now you're 30. You should have started looking for someone to have kids with, a relationship, marriage at 30, not 38. The truth hurts. Yeah, another one. She bought that feminism lie, that liberal lie. Have fun, experience, go to college, focus on your career. And it's sad because you can tell these girls this in their 20s, even early 30s, and they're not going to listen till it's too late. All right, 27 years old, teacher. She has her life together, but I'm probably going to trip over my own feet, literally. Currently aspiring to be the person my pets think I am. I've traveled the world, but my favorite place is still a stadium or a movie seat, or a cozy couch with a good movie and excellent food. Okay, so 5'7", no kids, wants kids, liberal, pronouns, spiritual, long-term relationship. Okay. Nerd about movies and food, and she loves those causes and communities. Okay. Favorite quality in a person is patience. All right. Let's see why she's almost 30, no kids, wants kids, and is single. Well, this is the biggest one right here. She's traveled the world. Okay, that takes time, money, resources, energy. So you probably wasted some time there. Wasted some time in college. I would never date a liberal just because it doesn't match with my ideology. So if you're not a liberal, don't pretend. You know, don't just pretend or think you can change this girl. Most people are set in their ways. That's just the reality. Most people are just set in what they believe in. It takes a decade over life experiences for that to change. So go with someone that matches with what you believe in. Your outlook on the world, your outlook on life, what you want in your life. Liberal, conservative, whatever. It's got to match. Otherwise, it's just never going to work. Long term. Yeah. I don't know why you don't want to go against your values for this, so you just move on. It's pretty simple. funny is women complain about sex being sexualized, but they just do it to themselves, right? So she's 34 years old, clinical researcher. I doubt that. Graduate, degree, active, Christian, doesn't have kids, long term relationship, active, happiest when she's outside enjoying nature. Okay. So you can see she's not overweight, not a single mom. She's just a riot. Okay. Prefer in person conversation. It's always better. Okay. Not bad. Let's see. Why is she 34? No kids, wants kids, Christian. All right, so we're gonna work backwards here. So she's 34 right now and a graduate degree. So that's at least 6 years total. So now she's 28. I wonder, was she 28 years old looking for a long term relationship, trying to find someone to have, a family with, marriage perhaps? That is what Christianity promotes, is family creation. So you got to figure out, she's not ugly, not overweight, no kids, no tattoos, not liberalized from the physical aspect, like the hair and the piercings, the tattoos. So again, why is she single? Why is she on a dating app? Why is she out here like this? I'd be hesitant. So this is a girl you'd go on a date with, and just be aware of certain things, be cautious. Because to me, I would have started this before I was spent 6-7 years in school, when you're 27, 26, not mid 30s. So, but yeah, this would still be somebody to go on dates with, just to see where it goes, but definitely have discernment as to why she is single and why these things haven't worked out for her. Because again, once you realize most women are overweight, most women have kids already, most are liberalized, have tattoos, colored hair, piercings, all that. Why does a girl like this, why is she out here single? Just something to be hesitant about. Let's take a look at this next profile. She's got her wings. Look at that. So 32 years old, flight attendant. That's not good. Her bio says coffee-powered chaos goblin with a suitcase always half-packed and a brain that runs on snack breaks and spontaneous. Talk about a run-on sentence. You want to talk about ADD brain. Look, convince me otherwise. Girls that are obsessed with traveling and being spontaneous, they all have ADD or ADHD. So if you want to be like her, and it's like you're on 4 Red Bulls all the time just to keep up with her like chaos and instability, man. So she's about that mom life, travel life. Why did I just walk into this room life? Man, she's not funny, huh? Must be willing to move to Colorado. See. Oh man, it's an epidemic. So it's worse than COVID. 30-year-old single moms. Come on, man. She wants long-term relationship, marriage. Her interests are gardening, wine, coffee, new cities. All right. Ultimate green flag, returning the shopping cart. Okay. I will know we are a good match if you can match my sarcasm and effort. Okay. I can't stop thinking about how every dog seems to be convinced I'm their new best friend. All right. So again, the good things are she is not overweight, not liberalized as far as her hair and the tattoos. So those are good things. But again, like, We don't date single moms here. And I don't think anybody should unless you're a single dad. Because again, she tells you right here, mom life is first, travel life is second, her job is third. So you want to be fourth in the relationship? Go for that. Let me know how that works in about 5 years. That's why you don't date single moms. And then her job, I mean, is crazy, right? How are you going to be a flight attendant, gone for a week, home a couple days, gone for a week, home a couple days? Come on. And you have kids? Who's raising them? Like, my biggest thing is I truly think one of the biggest downfalls in society is us having the government, the state, other people, not family members, raising our kids. Okay. The best outcome for children is being raised by their mom. That's first. If that's not possible, then a family member, grandmother, aunt, that would change everything, because you would hope these kids would be raised with values, actually parenting, but it's not happening. And you don't live in reality if you're going to tell me otherwise, that if you go to any of these public schools, K through 12, and you think these kids are being parented, it's not happening. Not at the schools and not at home. Parenting today is throw them on a cell phone, iPad, laptop, because you're so tired from that, that horrible job you work. So tired working that 8-hour shift. I don't know how you do it. Poor you. Yeah, a lot of these kids are not being parented. And it's sad, because that fixes a lot of problems in society. The saying goes, fathers keep daughters off of the pole and sons out of prison. That's a fact. That's why there's been a coerced effort to take fathers out of the house, because now you have a whole generation of kids raised by single moms who are emotional. So now they're raising emotional kids. These kids have no emotional regulation, no control, no resiliency, because they're being raised by single moms. It's all by design too. Divide and conquer. So if you really want to fight back, and if you really want to fight the system, the matrix, you have kids and you raise them the right way. That's what they fear. True God-fearing, patriotic souls that care. That's what the matrix fears. So yeah, we're not dating a 32-year-old single mom flight attendant. That's nobody. 39 years old, Penn State. Does she have kids? No, good. All right. 39 years old with a graduate degree. Okay, so why are you almost 40 years old and single? This will be the last one, and then we're going to go to Tinder for 20 minutes. So 39, graduate degree. And she is playful, grounded, and intentionally looking for a partner in crime. She prioritizes random adventures, her well-being, and visiting everyone. I don't even have to continue. This is why she's almost 40, single, no kids, but wants kids. All right. She's looking for a partner. No, you're not. You're looking for a husband, not a partner. She's prioritizing random adventures and her own well-being. That sums it up all right there. That's mic drop. That's why you're 40 years old, single, wants kids, but doesn't have kids. Because you shouldn't be prioritizing random adventures and your own well-being. How can you think prioritizing your own well-being and adventures is going to lead you to marriage and kids? Going to graduate school, wasting 7 or 8 years. You want kids. You want a long-term relationship. Again, not overweight. No tattoos. Hasn't desecrated her body. No crazy colored hair. Active, in shape. Where was she 10 years ago? Why wasn't she doing this 10 years ago? She's almost 40. She's 39, wanting kids, but doesn't have it yet. because she's been too focused on those random adventures and her own well-being. Some of these women are their own worst enemies, and they'll blame everybody else because you know for a fact all of her friends are like, I can't believe she's single. You know, pretty girl, not overweight, no tattoos, educated, career. Most guys don't care about that. Don't care about your education. Don't care about your career. If anything, that makes you worse. The less experience, the better. It is just wild. All right. That's about 21 minutes. So we'll go to Tinder for 20 minutes. Let's see. $20 on Tinder, and then we'll move to some dating content. We'll look at Reddit, X, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. We'll look at some crazy feminists. We'll look at dating advice, dating tips, modern dating, intimate relationships, just kind of what's going out there on the community. We'll see what's going on. Give you like a full picture of the dating landscape and relationships. Man, you can. There's just, you already know. I grew up in Las Vegas, and this was what we would call a Vegas girl, without even knowing anything about her, just the look. It's that stereotypical Vegas girl. Just really think about why. All right. So let's take a look at this. All right. Let's take a look at this. So she's 31 years old. Yeah, typical Vegas girl, right? A realtor, hairstylist, Airbnb host, hot golden doodle mom, 8th generation Texan, never been married, no kids. My IQ is 121. Wow. IQ is 121. Yeah, we should test that. Love to travel, spend time with friends and family, astral project and chill. No MAGA. Yes, I'm real. I'm literally photo verified. Okay. Dudes be so gay, I swear. Like, oh my God, are you real? This chick is overweight, fake everything. Like, look at that. And this chick is like, she's on that boss babe life, you can tell. Works out often, that's good. Doesn't smoke, great. Doesn't want kids, okay. Whew. I want you. So this is anecdotal evidence from the research that I've done. I've gone to a lot of yoga studios over the years, and let me tell you, if a chick does Pilates, it is a 70% chance she is a feminist. So just remember that 70% chance that if she does Pilates, she's a feminist. All right, so she just wants new friends. I doubt that. This is straight attention seeking validation because she's already outside like that. So she's definitely in the nightlife scene. Um her IQ is 121. No, it's not. No MAGA, right? So she loves to travel. So she's going to end up in her 40s, no kids, ran through. I'd say it's a waste of your time, but if you want to try to be if you want to be like that guy, like, oh, I could do this. This is good. So, not even worth a casual because it's just gonna be a waste of your time. She's just gonna probably want to go on dates and you pay for everything. It's not worth it. What an interesting first picture. 36 years old and you're just gonna wear the cross like that. Oh, I think I gotta charge my camera. I'll show you. So this, I don't know, and now I'm gonna go to the FaceTime camera. It doesn't pop up. I know. Got to change the battery in the camera. It's like every time I've tried to stream, something goes wrong with it.
That's everyone. We can charge it.
All right. I'm back for who knows how long. We'll see. We'll see. All right, you're dismissed. Thank you. All right, so she's 36 years old. Crazy first picture though, right? You're gonna wear the cross like that while having that? No, we don't do that. And she's looking for a long-term partner. No. 36, nurse, boy mom, Frenchie mom, loves sports, Disney pass. That is quite the combo. 36 years old, nurse, single mom, Disney adult. Who doesn't want that? Her first date wish list is you plan the whole thing. Tell me where we are going, when to be there, and I'll just show up looking pretty. Okay. Works out every day. That's great. Doesn't smoke. Good. Barely drinks. Good. Traveling. That's horrible. All right. So, this is obviously she's sexualizing herself. She's being provocative while wearing a cross. It's not good. Again, there's a stereotype for a reason, right? The nurses, the flight attendants, the bartenders, the bottle girls. Why are they single moms? That's why you never date these types of women. Flight attendants, nurses, realtors, bottle girls, bartenders. Avoid those five, you're good. Mm, no way. Guarantee you this is single mom central casting. This is the single mom archetype right here. Tell by the tattoos, the dressing for attention and validation, the nose piercing. Definitely craving attention and validation. It's definitely a single mom. Let's just go down and see. Yep. There it is, boys. So she's a single mom, loves to travel. Because what single mom in 2026 doesn't love to travel and doesn't have tattoos like a man? So this is what I want you to ask yourself is, say you're younger, right? And your mom is out here like this. She's going out to the clubs and the bars dressed like this. You're cool with that? I wouldn't be cool with that. I think there's more appropriate ways to dress, you know, because no girl can tell me that's comfortable. I've been with plenty that say this is not comfortable attire. You always got to pull your skirt down, the fishnets, your lingerie. I mean, come on now. 35 years old, and this is how you're presenting yourself for your kids to see. Her dream is to travel America. Wow. Why do single moms love to travel so much? Are they running from the lives they created? Really ask yourself that. Why does every single mom obsess about traveling? It almost makes you think they would have done things differently. Okay, so she works out at Planet Fitness. That's an L. She's 28, not overweight. That's good. Short term fun, all right. And the key to her heart is food and back massages. Okay, works out often, doesn't really drink, doesn't want kids. Okay. Of course, she's into traveling. Yeah, this is just the experience type of girl. She's just for the experiences of life, festivals, traveling, bars. Um, well, she definitely is not meant for a long-term relationship. Not everyone is. So, if you're that guy that's not wanting or not ready for a long-term relationship, obviously I advise against that. You want to meet somebody and get in a long-term relationship, get married and start that process cuz it's never too easy. It takes time and effort. It's better to do it sooner rather than later. But so she does, and she's not tattooed, not masculinized, no crazy piercings, not overweight, no kids. Yeah, she's just by those metrics alone, she's a top 10% girl. Okay. Again, most women are overweight, they're fat, obnoxious, rude, tattoos, piercings everywhere, kids. So if she's on an app, whether it's Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, Instagram, thousands of dudes every single week hit her up at minimum. So how can you be the guy that she chooses? Well, you can't be overweight, can't be addicted to weed, can't be addicted to video games and porn. You gotta stop the vices. Otherwise, you're never gonna get a girl like this. You're never gonna be able to hook up with girls. You're never gonna get matches on dating apps if you continue to be fat, overweight, lazy, weak, feminized, pacified, numb through video games, porn, gambling, sports. It's never been easier to be an above average guy. Not even, the thing on social media for the last 12 months was, 10K a month, 10K a month. That's great. But work on the finances, of course. But the easiest thing to do is lose weight, go to the gym every day, run every day, lift weights every day, eat right, read books, become educated, become a man, a person of interest. Stop smoking weed, stop playing video games, don't watch sports, don't watch porn. Just doing those things alone in 12 months, you're an above average guy. Because most guys, they're stuck. They're stuck right there in the middle. They're stuck at that like 15, 20 bucks an hour, that $45,000 a year. They're cool with that. They get to go home, chill from their, stressful day at work, smoke weed, relax, play video games, watch TV. That's most guys' lives. That's your competition. Your competition is just sitting there watching TV, sitting there scrolling on his phone, sitting there smoking weed. That's it. That's your competition. It's never been easier to be an above average guy. You want to become a man among men. It's that easy. This is probably the last profile. Then we'll go to some fun, popular dating content. Reddit, Twitter, TikTok, craziness. All right. So she's 35 years old. Hopefully that's her dad. I mean, I don't know. It's bad either way. So 35 years old. Tattoos like a man. Colored hair. Okay. Short term, open to long. Wow, that's a lot. So she's not here to party with tourists, but hope you have fun. My greatest fear is being the funnier one in a relationship and sharks. Women try so hard to be funny, but it's just not in their nature. Confident introvert. Again, doesn't make sense. A little weird and a classy lady. Classy. What is classy about this? Classy lady. Okay. All right. I'll just agree. Fuck Trump. The pedos and his supporters support feminism, trans rights, immigrants' rights, and generally care about people. Because you know what? If you don't support feminism, trans rights, immigrant rights, and generally, you just don't care about people. If you don't support feminism, trans, gays, immigrants, you don't care about people. That's how these people think. So clearly she's a far left lunatic. Never want to date one of those. Because again, how little do you have going on in your life to where you're this concerned about these issues? Like how do you have time for this? That's my question. Oof, wow. Feminism, pro-choice. What a woman, huh? What a lady. Oof. How old is she? 35. Yeah, I wonder why she's single. Why is she almost 40 and single? She looks like she has. She said it. She's such a classy lady. Classy lady. Okay. All right, so that's the dating app content. So we looked at Hinge, Bumble, Tinder, looked at these profiles, gave you advice on what to look out for, green flags, red flags, pros, cons, good, bad, all that. And I guess the overall message is don't date single moms and don't date girls that love to travel and who have tattoos. You kind of see there's a lot of similarities with all these women, right? They try to be unique and stand out, but ironically end up being all the same. You know, let's go to TikTok.
Things that I do for my boyfriend that would send a low effort girlfriend into a coma. Number one, I wash, dry.
So I don't technically have a boyfriend right now, but I'm not gonna let that stop me from being an absolute simp in my dating life. I wanted to take a second to show off this really cute date idea that I just set up. I invited a guy over for dinner, and that's all I told him, is that I'm making him dinner. What I'm making...
Do you want to know one of the biggest red flags a woman can have? And it's not what you think. Oh, she has all these people that she talks to. She goes on all these dates. No, it's worse. It's that she doesn't appreciate anything. She just thinks because she exists on this planet that she deserves, which everybody is worthy, but who doesn't?
Men have a 0.6% match rate on dating apps.
That's under 1% in case.
Okay.
How easy is it to walk up to a woman and get her number in 2026?
What is it with men these?
What's your biggest ick?
When a guy is putting their blinker on, I just feel like that's such a feminine thing to do. Like men with children, the 50-50 conversation, men with no tattoos, Libra men all together.
When his fingernails are so fucking long.
Anything, just breathing.
When a guy is under 5'10".
I guess like the thought of him like bumping into something and being nonchalant about it.
Well, one of them is when a guy trauma dumps on you for 2 hours. It's when a guy tells you all of his problems and all of his trauma for the past whatever.
What's it like dating in Miami?
I don't live out here, so I don't know.
Where do you live?
I live in Arizona, but Arizona sucks.
What problems do you run into with the men that you date there?
They're all whores. They're always looking for new candy. They can never settle. They're little boys.
So what makes you commit to a man?
If the man is loyal, I'll be loyal.
If you and I are in the talking stage, would you want me to only be seeing you, or can I go on other dates?
I think that there's a limit. Once we get to a point, if you are still talking to other women, I will be talking to other men. I feel like once we establish that you're mine and I'm yours, you should cut it.
Man, that voice. Oof.
Watch this.
New challenge. Tell a girl at a...
Why wouldn't we as women, actual feminism, I suppose, to be theoretical about this, demand more from the men that we're spending our lives with?
I agree, and I think, like, here's where the problem lies, right? Men end up leaving because if that girl that's demanding respect and demanding boundaries, now she becomes high maintenance to them. This is, again, I'm speaking anecdotally, but I've heard this from men before. Now she becomes high maintenance, so they're leaving.
Everyone seems really disposable.
What do you think are the challenges?
We're heading to a world where we're gonna have.
What's it like dating? So feminism are angry women who think they're equal to men and want to
Give the women what they say they want. You want to vote? You sign up for the draft.
Here are things I think are sexist with a little.
Would you like to see a woman president one day?
No.
Why?
Women shouldn't be in politics because it weaponizes our maternal instinct against us. So what do they do to women? Wow, how do they get so many women to vote left wing? They use things like abortion. If we're talking about illegal immigration and ICE, what do all the photos and videos show? Families getting separated, children being deported by ICE. So women see that and they're like, oh no, the poor child.
Right. Oh. All right. Let's see what's going on in the Reddit world. Asking a guy out for the first time what to say over text? What? What's funny is this person said, a lot of men here will tell you to do it because they likely fantasize about this stuff and don't get hit on often or ever. But if this guy is good looking, then you might not be the first customer who's tried this, and not everyone enjoys customers, even former ones, hitting on them. Okay, this is probably like a gay dude or like a woman. I don't know a single guy that would say no to this. Like, yeah, just message them on Facebook or whatever. It's not that serious. To be very creepy. Okay. Yeah, it's all these, it's probably women. No kiss on the first date. Decided to try dating apps after not dating for a few years. Been on Hinge and matched with a girl. Ended up going out for dinner. Things went great. Good conversation. We both laughed a lot. My expectations were rock bottom. I've never met up with someone I've met over an app or the internet. As long as she showed up and didn't try to stab me or something by the end of the night, I would have been sad. She said she has a good time. I said the same and I asked for her number. She gave it to me, gave her a hug, and I said I would see her later and turn to walk, get in my car. Got to work on your English, man. She said, okay, enjoy the rest of your night, in a ugh type of tone, which really threw me off. Wasn't until I drove off that I realized she was probably expecting a kiss since things went well and I just walked off. Texted her the next day saying I had a great time and I'd love to take her out again sometime soon. No response. It's been roughly 24 hours now. Yeah, she's gone, bro. She's done for. She's gone. I've almost always treated a first date as strictly a get-to-know-you type of thing, and I don't try anything physical. Never had an issue in the past with doing it this way. One girl I dated even explicitly told me that she liked that I was respectful and seemed genuinely interested in getting to know her the first time we got together and wasn't trying to do anything else. So I guess my perception here is skewed from that and never having it been an issue with other girls. I'm just flabbergasted that this ended up being a deal breaker. I'm not even really opposed to kissing on the first date or anything. I've just always done it in this way, so I never really considered doing things any other way. Like we really hit it off, and I'm confused that she wouldn't at least go for a second date. Look, man, you didn't do anything wrong. Be cordial, be polite, don't push it, especially with how things are these days. You can never be too safe, all right? First date, no expectation of a kiss. If it's the first date, let her initiate that. Once it goes on further, then yeah, you can, if it feels right. Or you can just ask her, be like, hey, you know, I had a great time with you. Mind if we kiss? That way you know. Sounds like she wanted to do more that night. Saying this as a woman, you didn't do anything wrong. Her action was passive aggressive. All right. Got that. And look, man, like, you just move on. Like, there's millions of girls out there. So what if this didn't work out just because you didn't kiss her? You know, maybe she just fell off. Maybe it wasn't even because you didn't kiss her. Just like guys, you just got to get out of your head and just move on. The safe thing to do is you just don't do it. That's fine. The 8 billion people argument is really getting to me. People love to throw this out there. There are 8 billion people out there. You're bound to find someone. It is, in my opinion, some of the stupidest possible dating encouragement someone can give. Here's why. There are 8 billion people. Only about half of those are men, so 4 billion. All right, already you're thinking about this way too deep. Way too deep. It's bordering impossible. What? So look, if you work a lot and you're truly busy, you do both. You download dating apps. If you are truly an above average guy, it should be no problem for you to get 50 to 100 matches over that course of a couple of weeks on 3 different apps while still trying to find girls out in public. You want to use everything to your advantage, right? People really they make this way more complicated than what it is. Women exuding confidence. Okay. I find confident women really attractive. I like a woman who knows what she wants. Is that weird? Oh man, all the feminists and liberal faggot guys are going crazy. Like, oh no, this is what a real man loves. I'm not sure how I'd feel about dating someone who's had multiple relationships. I'd probably wonder whether I'm an upgrade or a downgrade compared to her past partners. I could never settle for someone who doesn't treat me right or meet my standards just because I'm lonely or hoping it'll make me happy. I've seen this a lot in arranged marriage dating. People change their type because they're tired of failing and hope the next choice will finally bring them love and satisfaction. That mindset doesn't work for me. I don't want someone who's looking for a relationship to fix or stabilize their life. I just want someone who shares my values and compassion. Is that really too much to ask? No, it is not too much to ask. That's how it's supposed to be. You should never date out of being lonely, date out of just trying to fill a void. And most guys, I mean, guys and girls too, but you don't complicate it. Don't think about these things too much. Who cares if you're an upgrade or a downgrade? You need to be confident enough to know that you should be the upgrade. If you're doubting yourself, then maybe you want to do some self-improvement, right? Self-improve yourself. You should have no doubt about yourself to where I've never thought about am I an upgrade or a downgrade? And most people are going to have been in multiple relationships. That's something you're going to have to get over. But you're definitely right when you say that a lot of people, I would assume at least half of all relationships people get into or have gotten into are because they're tired of failing and they're tired of being lonely. They want to have some love and satisfaction, so they get whoever they can get. It is not super likely that you're going to find a confident woman with a lack of relationship experience. Instead of searching for a woman to address these issues in yourself, I'd recommend you find a great therapist and do that work before finding a partner. A woman is not the balm for your insecurities. This dude didn't say that at all. I definitely need counseling for my emotional unavailability, but I guess I wasn't able to make my point clearly. It's not about her past or expecting her to compensate for anything I'm lacking. It's about wanting a partner who chooses me because I'm the better match for her, not because all her previous relationships failed. And what they're saying, that's true, but therapy is never the answer. You should be able to fix everything on your own. People use therapy as a crutch and an excuse to just stay the same and be in their own perpetuating cycle for years and years and years. Therapy for most people is just affirming their beliefs. You get someone to just say, yes, oh, poor you. I know, so hard. Mommy and daddy didn't look at you enough. I know, it's so hard. Yeah, go to these third world countries and see if they use therapy. It's called resiliency, being strong. And you can, like, this person knows what's wrong. This person knows what they need to do because they're saying it in the post. They're saying it in every single reply. The majority of people have the answers to their problems. They just don't go through with it. All right. Agree or disagree, you do not get to find your ideal partner in life. If you're lucky, you get to find someone 75% of your ideal partner and you work together to mitigate the difference. Again, some of you, most of you just think way too much about this, the numbers, the percentages. Stop. No, there's no partner. Boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. Unless you're a homosexual, then that's a partner. I think that people can grow to love each other even if they aren't each other's ideal partner. I'm also starting to think that waiting around for the perfect partner for years and years is actually just a recipe for being alone forever. This is true. Think about your parents, right? Your parents probably in your 40s or 50s. There was no perfect relationship. There was no perfect person for them, especially your grandparents in their 60s, 70s, or 80s. Their relationships were confined to the school that they went to, confined to the church, confined to the town of 10,000 people. There was no internet, no social media, no online dating, no global international marketplace for dating. You were with the person you went to school with 9 times out of 10. That's what it was like for your parents and your grandparents. And I've thought about this exact same thing where, you know, there is no perfect person. There is, you know, soulmates can exist, but you're right in the sense of like, I truly think you can love anybody. Now, there's going to be different stipulations to that. There's going to be variables to that. There's going to be levels to that. But you see this all the time, right? People over the age of 40, they're in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Completely different, argue a lot, but they still love each other because you learn to love that person. That's the person you're with. Dating was completely different 20 years ago. So that's true. You find someone with 100% of the values you share, and you'll never feel like you need to mitigate the difference. It's just up to you how shallow or deep those values should be. Values are different, though. You know, you definitely want someone with the same values when it comes to, do you want kids? Do you not want kids? Are you religious, non-religious? Those types of things matter. What is an ideal partner exactly? A checklist? All right. This person's just trying to be funny. Everybody has traits, checklists, whatever word you want to use. Same thing. And people love this type of stuff. Huh? Is no one looking for a relationship anymore? Let's see. Is no one looking for a relationship anymore? I have been on dating apps and have been on Reddit stating I'm looking for a why are you on Reddit looking for a relationship? Is there like Reddit dating? I'm looking for a relationship and all I get is men saying they are looking for relationship too, but they want to start off casual, or they start asking me sexual questions, or they just want to hook up. Are there any men who actually want a partner, girlfriend, or are men just wanting to get laid now? Well, there's a couple reasons for that. The first is men have testosterone, which makes you want to fuck everything. So most women will never experience that unless they get on testosterone. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, I don't know if I'd use Reddit. Reddit's for a lot of incel type dudes that just live on the internet. That's another thing. And of course, every guy in the comments could be like, "Oh no, not me. I was looking. I am. We're out here." All right, guaranteed you're not. All right. These are guys just trying to get in there and shoot their shot. And don't be so nihilistic, black-pilled, where you think no one's looking for a relationship. All the good ones are taken. That's not true. Plenty of people out there. You just got to make yourself available and make yourself worthwhile. Really look at yourself in the mirror and be like, would I be in a relationship with me? Like, would a girl would a girl find me attractive? Be honest with yourself. And for most guys, it's a no. You're overweight. You're weird, awkward, don't know how to communicate. You have zero confidence. You're addicted to weed, pornography, video games. Why would a girl date you? Are you deserving of that? Just because you're a nice guy and a great personality, your mom loves you, that don't mean nothing. What do you do to make yourself attractive to women? That's what you got to ask yourself. Dating over 30. Let's see. Am I putting too much emphasis on physical attraction? I've always believed that a person should be obsessed about their partner physically, especially find them super sexually. Okay, obsessed is probably too much, but it's definitely important. Physical attraction is always going to be first. Don't let anybody lie to you and say it's personality. No one's going to walk up to you and be like, "Oh, I love your personality. I just saw that from across the room and I just had to tell you, great personality." No, it's physical attraction. Okay. Carry yourself with confidence. Do you have muscle? Or are you overweight? Girls see that. Physical attraction is first. Then it's getting to know you second. It's pretty self-explanatory. See what's going on in the dating world.
Because for the first time, I was in the locker room at the same time that a woman, I'd say around my type and my age, was in there. Total breast exposed, shirt off. I took one glance, looked the other way, didn't even think about it after. I didn't sexualize her. I didn't sit there and stare. I just let it go out of my mind, get back in my car, and then really thought about how fucking disgusting men are.
I'm gonna give you about 0.2.
All right, so she said,
I know men are just disgusting, objectifying pigs, because for the first time, I was in the locker room at the same time that a woman, I'd say around my type and my age, was in there. Total breast.
So she's talking about men being pigs, but she was so fascinated by this girl and her being naked and her breasts and her type. Okay. She had to go out to her car to record this. So she remembered those memories. She's exactly what, like, the guys that she says that she hates. Talk about irony.
Exposed, shirt off. I took one glance, looked the other way, didn't even think about it after.
Didn't think about it after, but I made a whole video about it. These liberal women. Oh, man. Talk about retarded. Makeup doesn't make that much of a difference. Wow. There's a reason why it's called make up. They're making up for a deficit, making up for a deficiency. It's pretty obvious. Makeup is a $1 billion industry focused on the insecurity of women. I do not debate men because debating feminists is pornographic to them. The point is to humble me, take me down, and dominate my point of view. Debate does not remove the oppressive dynamic between the sexes. It recreates it for an audience foaming at the mouth. They think so highly of themselves. And this is how you know that she either has undiagnosed autism or she's just taking too much birth control, that lowercase I, or she has herpes. Anytime they don't capitalize the I's by itself or after a period, they have undiagnosed autism or they have herpes. I don't know how that's a thing. It's just all the research I've read says that. Without twos, definitely. Look at that genius right there. Without, everyone knows girls only get tattoos because they think it makes them look hard and guys will not approach them. All it does is make them look masculine and ghetto. Facts. I stand by that. This is true. Modern women will see this and think, yes, this is what I want my skin to look like. Never date a girl with tattoos. It's trash. Women with tattoos are like buildings covered with graffiti. They both look like shit, are easy to enter, and usually contain hazardous material. That is crazy. The internet is crazy, man. That is funny. You don't put bumper stickers on a Lambo. That's facts. What's crazy is so many dudes are actually saying no tattoos, yet like 80% of all modern women have tattoos. Is it bad for society? Average women do not find average men attractive. Yeah. Again, what is it? I'm telling you, show me a liberal chick that does not capitalize her I's. Why do they always use lowercase i's? There's something to that, I'm telling you. I see 100 overweight, ugly, and entitled women a day. That's oh, man.
You look fantastic.
Thank you.
Fantastic. You're welcome. Can I join?
Nope.
You didn't even look at me.
It's
I won't even give them attention. Just leave that alone.
I was just on my way home from work, and I get on the train, and this woman gets on, probably 8-9 months pregnant, like well visibly pregnant. And I look around, like I have a seat. I look around, and there's a sea of men sitting next to me, sitting across from me. and they just like awkwardly look at her. And no one offered to get up for her to sit. It was shocking. So of course, fellow mom, just fellow woman, fellow good person, says, oh my gosh, like, please sit. And she looks around awkwardly. She's like, no, I'm just on for 2 stops. Girl, come sit down. It's ridiculous. And like the men look over and they're all awkward and uncomfortable. Like,
equality only when it's convenient. You know, it's true, because the point of feminism is equality, right? Even though it's a lie. It's, hey, we don't give up our seats. Now, that's not my take. My take is, you be cordial. Of course, you give up your seat, open the door. Even if they're a liberal feminist, it doesn't matter. But this is the other side of the equality equation. You want equal everything, well, it's equal treatment. That's part of that feminist liberal ideology.
Is cute ask for my number and I give it to them, my first response when they text me is always, hey pal, I think she gave me the wrong number. And I'll let it sit for like hours.
Not even funny. If someone says that, just block the number. Like, who cares? It is arrogance mixed with ignorance and delusion. That's facts. Arrogant. Most modern women, not all, but they're arrogant, ignorant, and delusional.
Wise, not talking to people at the gym, okay? I came here to lift. I came here to play.
Talk about what a voice. That is a voice only a mother could love.
I came here to listen to Chevelle. Please do not interrupt my lifting session to ask for my Instagram or my phone number. This is not a place for talking, babe. If you want to talk, go join a fucking book club. Thank you.
Is it wrong to shoot your shot at the gym? No, it's not, but it's got to be done in a certain way, right? I've seen guys walk straight up to a girl and just be like, are you single? That's just weird and awkward. You can just have a casual conversation. If she doesn't want to carry it on, you just say, all right, have a good workout, walk away. It's that simple. If she makes a big deal out about it, who cares? You just walk away. It's not the end of the world. Definitely, yeah, the better you look, the more likely they are to respond. So that should be motivation for you to look better. You don't need to hop on TRT, HRT, no peptides, just eat right, train daily. You're good to go. This is so true. Feminist and lip filler is a brutal combo. I'll add tattoos to that as well. Feminist, lip filler, and tattoos is a killer combo. You could just tell some dude hurt her, right? Because that feminine energy is just so powerful. Men had to create patriarchy and religion to control it. Yes, because women are so powerful. If that was the case, they would run the world. It's crazy. What? The eyes tell you if someone's crazy or not. This is a lunatic right here.
Man is just the defect genetic offspring of the woman. The woman has 2 X chromosomes, and the man has an X and Y chromosome. Chromosomes are the body's operating manual. The X comes before the Y, and the Y chromosome is a genetic defect of the X chromosome. The X chromosome is huge because it contains 800 to 900 genes.
Why is she waving the whole time? And you can tell she's reading a script. She's like, come on.
Involved in brain development, immune function, hormone regulation, metabolism, blood clotting, vision, and general cell maintenance. The Y chromosome is very small. It carries.
Pay attention to this. She has not blinked one time. I'm telling you, the eyes tell you everything you need to know about a person, whether they're calm and relaxed or absolutely crazy in their mind.
Only 50 to 70 genes, most of which are focused on male sex determination, sperm production, and testes development. Biologically, the presence of 2 X chromosomes gives women measurable advantages in resilience and survival. Men rely heavily on the X chromosome for most essential functions, and the mother always gives the X chromosomes because eggs only carry X. So to my understanding, women came before men.
You know, talk to them. They're, as I always...
What a treat. Imagine dating that. Obviously, man came before a woman, but that's obvious. Would love to hear his side of the story. Let's see.
If you needed one, here it is. This is your PSA. To be very, very picky when it comes to choosing your co-parent. When you choose to go half on a baby with somebody,
automatically you know that's never going to work out. If she uses the word co-parent, pull out before it's too late.
do your homework, vet them, do the background checks, ask their friends and family about them. Because let me tell you, co-parenting with a terrible person, this is literally the 7th ring of hell. You know who's suffering the most? My babe. My babe.
Crying on camera. Like, what was the point of you going to TikTok and crying? This is how I view it. It's not a matter of blaming one side or the other, but it's typically men who take the blame for everything. So I'll give you the counter argument. The counter argument is this. When it comes to dating and relationships, who approaches who? Okay, the man approaches the woman. Step 1. Step 2, who decides if the conversation continues? The woman. Who decides to go on a date? Who's going to say yes or no? The woman. Okay. You're on the date now. Do you get to know the person? Do you get to know the guy? Or does every guy do some voodoo magic trick over you? I thought women are supposed to have all this intuition, this knowledge, these social skills. Yet somehow men place this voodoo magic on them to where every single mom somehow chose the wrong guy. I think we need to start asking ourselves, do women truly have intuition? Do they truly have social and relationship skills? Because there's plenty of times for women to say, hey, this is not the right guy. The initial encounter, the very first time you meet, okay? The first time you start talking, the first date, second date, third date, you decide to have sex, right? The woman says yes first initially. For the first couple months, she is in the driver's seat. She's dictating everything. The man is pursuing. He's responding to her. 99% of all relationships are done consensually by the woman, not through the man's force. So most women have months, if not years, to figure out if this is the right guy before they have kids or get married or in a serious relationship. But somehow it's always the man's fault. Women can't figure out if a guy is good or not after a couple months or a year. I don't know. Saying you do not find any fat people attractive, would never date a fat person is not a preference, it's fat phobia. That's true. Nobody should be fat. No one should be overweight. It's a strain on our resources and the healthcare system. There's no fat gene. This has been disproven. People are just lazy. Their metabolisms are screwed because they don't eat. You can't starve yourself and then expect your metabolism to work. You need to consistently eat small meals to keep your metabolism going, strong, healthy. Problem is people eat one meal a day. They'll have a yogurt, a salad, and that's, oh, I ate, but I can't lose weight. Yeah, because you destroyed your metabolism. You need to consistently eat, exercise. Being fat is a choice. Being overweight is a direct reflection of your lazy lifestyle. Crazy. Sometimes I think I want a boyfriend, but then I see people's boyfriends liking my story. I doubt that. I doubt that. And this is what you got to understand. Most women on social media only exist on social media for their own egos, attention, and validation. She tells you right here, thanks for the engagement. Oh, these women. Right. This girl's talking about being led by faith. Okay. So she's being led by faith. What faith is she being led by? Oh, wow. Talk about attention seeking and validation. Come on now. You really had to get fake lips and fake tits just to feel better about yourself. It's crazy. Episode 1 of Good Wife is now available. This chick is riding that trad wife fad hard. This is a covert feminist right here. She's out here touring the country, all over the news, all over social media. What exactly is traditional about her? I need help understanding this. The fake lips, the overdone makeup. Good Wife? Okay, let's see. Trying to date as a single mom, be like, is it still tight? Is crazy. Want another one? Dang. You know what's funny is there's some truth in what she's saying, but she doesn't address their actual truth. The actual truth is no one wants to date a single mom because they're masculine. They're more masculine. Yeah, they're more masculine. They had to protect and provide for themselves and their children. That makes you more masculine. Why would a guy want to date a masculine girl? Okay. You put your kids first, maybe your job, your career, your experiences second. Why would a guy enter into a relationship and not be first or second in your life? I don't see you mentioning that. But hey, I'm sure people will feel bad for her. Let's see. Oh, what is she? Oh, so she's a prostitute. Okay, so that's why. She's got the link in her bio. All right. Save file is crazy. I think it's more the way you're built. She's definitely overweight. Date men with kids. Problem solved. Exactly. All right, that's pretty obvious. What the fuck? You are way too pretty to be crying over that broke, insecure loser. This dude is the most performative faggot on the internet I've ever seen. You could tell he probably got cheated on. Probably. It's true. His content is built on rage baiting. It's engagement. Hate is a powerful thing, you know, in the sense of engagement. It's true. Right. She's in her 40s and this dude is in his 20s. That is crazy. If you don't want kids ever, then maybe go for it. But I think it's just, that's not, the biggest thing is if you want kids or not. That's the thing. If you're never going to want kids, then go for it. But if you do, a chick in her late 40s is not. Bro needed a place to stay. Looking for a needle in a haystack while this is her build is crazy. If you can't commit to a healthy diet or a gym, then you're a trash. You are the problem. Take some accountability. It's true. Work on yourself and God will provide you with someone when your time is ready. That's true. She is probably looking at the Burger King on the other side of the road. Let's be real. Lose 200 pounds and someone might be interested. Facts. A commitment to keeping you fed. Condiment. Looking for a guy that actually wants a condiment. Wow. This is good. And I'm worried about what I look like. The funny thing is, all the girls are like saying, yes, girl, get it. The best cure, awesome. And the guys are like, what? Women will give other women the worst advice ever, I swear. That is funny. Nope. Nope. Why are they all the exact same build? Soulless eyes, tattoos, and overweight. What? When I say I connect to my feminine energy, this is what I mean. Wow. Crazy. Look at that. Who would not want to date that? Come on now. Never date a girl like this. This is insanity. Posting my single clients, right? Look at that. Look at the eyes, man. The eyes tell you a lot. And so I'll explain what the contradiction is, right? So obviously she's overweight and the tattoos, the rambunctiousness, that's a rough 24 exactly. What else you got? Just two dudes hanging out. What I wore to work this week as a corporate bag. Why does she have a kangaroo pouch? Bold color corporate outfits. Wow, of course, all the women are saying, you look good. You look good, girl. All the guys are saying, hold on a second. This is not baddie. What? I think it ate the corporate bag. Big interest. Oh, she been ate. HR being productive as usual. It's facts. Corporate boulder. And look, it's not in the sense of like to make fun of. It's just like you're this delusional. You're not a baddie. Lose weight. Lose 80 pounds, and then we can talk. That's the point.
If we talk about fat women in America right now, and we talk about you are at least a 7 out of 10. Okay? You are
I'm sorry, but I don't really like how you're speaking to me like that. Are you rating her, or you're saying 7 out of 10? Yeah, like,
yeah, John.
Respectfully, I don't like that. But continue, please. I do understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, John.
No, John, I just don't understand. Are you rating her?
John.
Hold on. Let me make sure I give you some context here. A 7 out of 10 means
7 out of 10 is above average. That's good.
Exceptional.
Wait,
like really good.
You were rating her, or you were saying? I thought you were doing like stats. Like,
yeah. No.
That's you know what it is, because all girls think they're 10 out of 10s.
Yeah.
Ladies, in reality, none of you are a 10. A 7 out of 10 is extremely attractive and exceptional.
Are you okay?
She's crying. So.
She's not crying. I think her makeup is.
Nah, I see tears.
Do you guys have napkin? Oh, don't cry.
Do you have a napkin?
Bro, that was a compliment.
John, you made her cry, bro.
MOD, you asshole.
Like, bro, you thought she's above average.
No.
Why are you so mean, John?
You're an asshole.
You are 37. It's good.
I said at least a 7, first of all.
John, you're an asshole, bro.
I said, first of all.
I don't think she's heard about
she's
the
not
rating.
perfect, John.
So what should I say? 10 out of 10?
She's heard about the rating.
Only 10 out of 10,
John, 11
So I said, first of all, I don't care, because I said what I said. This is America. We have the Constitution, free speech. I stand by what I said. I said you're at least a 7 out of 10. And if you're Byron, you okay? You want me to shut up?
No, we need to take women's rights away. dude, we need it. Like, how did she can vote?
I know.
What the fuck is going on here?
Everybody can vote.
And y'all shouldn't be able to vote. You guys are fucking retarded.
Not everybody can vote. 18 and up can vote.
We gotta take women's
no
rights
felons.
away. This is fucking insane. Do you guys not realize what just transpired?
Men's testosterone is even worse.
Wait, what's it?
Shut up. Dude, like this.
Seven out of 10 ain't that bad. That's above average.
I just really thought that guys were just like being crybabies and stuff. Until I moved back here and then started seeing it with my own eyes on the ground. And it is just, this is unsustainable. This is unsustainable. I don't know what's going to happen, but we are not heading to a good place. Because the last time the amount of sexlessness like this happened with a country was Weimar Germany, which led to, you know, the Nazis
Mustache man.
and all that stuff, you know, coming to main power. So I really don't think this is an experiment that's going to end well. And like I said, I really try to be positive and optimistic, but data is data, numbers are numbers.
That's true.
I just really thought that guys were.
All right, so that's some of the dating stuff right there. Let's take a look at the news. All right, we're going to look at this dating app profile.
I would just add one more thing on Epstein. I mean, the Department of Justice has turned over tens of thousands of pages to the House Oversight Committee and to the American people. I mean, they released everything that's legally releasable online or to the House Oversight Committee. They also tried to move grand juries to unseal documents in various states, and unfortunately those judges declined, and they've been fully cooperating with the House Oversight Committee. So this idea that there's files that the DOJ is hiding or that this administration is not being transparent is just totally false. It's a fallacy. And I understand people have questions, and when you're on the outside, you're skeptical of government, and people should be. But there is literally nothing to hide, and President Trump has maintained that this entire time. And I would just add one more thing on Epstein.
Nothing to hide. Right. They cried about Epstein all of 2024. All the way leading up to the election. It was Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. We're going to release it, expose the deep state, expose this and that. Then the time comes, they delay. It took Thomas Massie going through, trying to pass legislation to even get some of it released. Heavily redacted, by the way. Overwhelmingly redacted. No indictments, no one going to jail, nothing happening, just swept under the rug, just like that. That's why people don't believe government. That's why people don't believe Trump. That's why people are losing faith in elections. Not because of some fake intelligence that comes from our greatest ally saying Trump actually won the 2020 election. How about we live in 2026? Are you tired of living in 2020, 2016, 1950? Are you tired of people bringing up the past all the time? How about we worry about 2026? How about we worry about helping regular Americans, the middle 80%, not the top 10%, not the bottom 10%, the middle 80, give them a 10% increase in pay, worker take-home pay, increase that, and then make it mandatory. When inflation goes up, they get paid more. If it's up 2-3%, their pay is up 2-3%. If groceries go up, their pay goes up. That's how you fix it. Instead, we're worried about the 2020 election. Really? Okay. You got to wonder if the Republican Party just bend the knee and dies in 2028, or if it's going to be... There's never going to be an America First country because you cannot be America first. You cannot be nationalist in the global economy. Everything is tied together globally. I know it's exciting to say America first, nationalism. It's just never going to happen because of international bankers existing, international money controlling everything. Your politicians are bought and paid for. They're donors or not donors, they're investors. I could have told you, I wish, was it Polymarket or Kalshi, whatever it is, if I could have made a bet that Elon Musk was going to make double his net worth, I would have done that. Dude spent more money than anyone else in political history when it came to campaigning. You really thought he was not going to double his net worth just within a couple of years? Come on. You got to understand, if someone is worth over $100 million, especially the billionaire class, they're not doing anything out of the kindness of their heart. They're not donating 10, 20, $50 million to a candidate because they care about America so much. No, they want a return on investment. If I'm donating $50 million to your campaign, that $50 million better turn into $100 million because you're giving me government contracts in my local municipality. You're giving my company the contract. You're giving me tax breaks. That's how it works. Tim Pool, holy shit, Trump says Intel shows China paid U.S. journalists to write negative stories about the Trump administration. Sure. Okay. The U.S. election system is broken. Here's what the disclosures reveal. And I'll explain to you why this is all nonsense, because think about it like this. So somehow the 2016 election, all good. 2024 election, all good. 2020, bad. Make that make sense. So here's what their disclosures reveal. You know, their trusted intelligence that comes from within their own administration. Hundreds of millions of American voter files in the hands of foreign governments. Okay, anybody can access this. Anybody can go to the public records and access this. I can access this. You can access this. That's not foreign interference. Voting machines and ballot counting systems exposed to hacking manipulation. Possible, not likely, but definitely possible. China and other adversaries actively trying to meddle in elections. Every single country meddles with every other country's elections. We do it in Europe. We do it in China. We do it in Vietnam, Russia, Iran. We do it. They do it. Evidence of fraud being buried. Okay. You buried Epstein. Got that. Okay. Hundreds of thousands of non-citizens and dead people still active on voter rolls. Probable, likely. Remove those. It's pretty self-explanatory. No voter ID, no proof of citizenship required. True. You definitely need to show ID and proof of citizenship. I agree with that. Tens of millions of mail-in ballots floating unsecured. Not sure if that's true, because the problem is the reason why the Save America Act has not passed yet, even though Republicans have complete control. Ask yourself, why is that? It's not because they hate Trump. It's because of rural communities. So the senators who are voting no on the Save America Act are the senators and representatives in the rural communities that use mail-in ballots, that are not going to drive 3 or 4 hours to the closest voting station because they're so remote in the middle of nowhere in all these states. So why would they go out of their way to drive 4 hours to vote? I know people will say, "Oh, well, it's just one time, just to do it." Well, it's easy for you to say. Most people don't even drive 30 minutes to go vote. You want someone to drive 4 hours to go vote? So the reason why the Save America Act has not passed is because of the Republican representatives who are in rural counties rely on those mail-in ballots. So that's a fact. So they need to have certain stipulations in there to where if you're in a rural community, you have mail-in ballots. If you're a military member overseas, mail-in ballots. That's it. Pretty straightforward. Enough is crazy. They have so much hubris.
I know men are just
Nancy Pelosi. Obviously, Donald Trump is a loser, says the lady who made like what history with investing. She's a financial wizard. She is a stock market wizard. And the irony is most Americans have no idea this is legal. It is 100% legal for your state senator and all your representatives to invest in stocks with foreknown knowledge. They sit on these committees, they're chairs of these committees, they're passing legislation, and then they know, all right, this stock is going to go up or it's going to go down. They're the ones signing off on it, and it is 100% legal. All they have to do is disclose it. And they know most Americans don't read, they don't check into it, so that's why they get away with it. The system is corrupt. It's not the people. It is the system. So you have to fix the system. Otherwise, it's never going to change. Corruption will always exist. Fraud, waste, and abuse will always exist because the system is created and designed that way. It's not Nancy Pelosi. It's the system. Every single one of them can have the knowledge, sign the legislation, invest $10,000 and turn it into $100,000. Okay, I implore you to go look at the net worth before they enter Congress and after. Their net worth is $100,000 when they get in. They leave worth $10 million after 10 years. Completely legal.
disgusting, objectifying.
So Marjorie Taylor Greene. So if the Russians rigged the 2016 election and China rigged the 2020 election, who rigged exactly? That's my point. You know, I'm sure she knows a lot more than what she's allowed to say because a lot of these people, they have gag orders. They can't speak on certain things. And, you know, she's not entirely clean as well. Her net worth went up a lot while she was, you know, serving the country. The irony is, though, is that there's a lot of these MAGA AI bots attacking her. A lot of people. Yeah, I mean, it's so obvious how it doesn't matter who you vote for. What was this? Oh, yeah. So this is feminist programming. So programming exists subliminally where advertising works, media, entertainment works for the simple reason of your subconscious. If you're exposed to something, whether you like it or dislike it, it is programmed inside your subconscious. That's how music works. That's how it programs you to a certain frequency to think thoughts that are not your own over time. That's why you have to be very careful with the content you consume, especially music. Music is very powerful. And if you think, oh, no, it's not brainwashing. No, it's not brainwashing. Well, think of it like this. Anytime you see someone listen to a song, they start singing and dancing like they can't control it. That is brainwashing and mind control. Let's see. Look at all the women in there eating this up. Yep. They do everything they can to demonize women having children. So the Matrix works off of fear and consent. That's what you have to understand. The Matrix exists through your fear and consent. They want you to have fear, anxiety, and consent to the matrix, to the systems at play. They want you to not have kids. They don't want you to reproduce. They want men to be weak, feminine, gay, numb, pacified. They want women to be masculine, not have kids, because it's oppressive. Too much labor. I carry a child. Can't do that. This is what Taylor Swift was doing for the last 5 or 10 years. The girl boss trend with Beyonce, Cardi B, her era. All these celebrities, these singers played their role, and Taylor Swift was the worst thing to happen to women. It turned millions of American women into feminists and liberals who don't want kids and hate men, just through music. That is the power of programming. That is the power of music. So be conscious and aware of what you watch and what you listen to. Let's take a look at this. Mark Levin. The VP, so Vance, he owes Israel and millions of its American supporters an apology. Okay, no, he doesn't. The Iranian terrorist regime rejected the Memorandum of Understanding, that's an MOU, as it has undermined all agreements and deals. Iran killed it, not some influence operation. It's called logic, experience, and knowledge. This is all BS. Mark Levin is the biggest shill for Israel. He loves it so much. Why don't you go live there, Mark Levin? You call yourself a constitutional lawyer. Go live there if it's so great. And it is when they were doing the genocide in Gaza, they were the ones killing all the negotiators. And they're doing the same thing now. And you're a fool to think VP Vance is not pro-Israel, not a Zionist, not taking donations from their lobbies. What's happening with Vance now is he's having to play cover because of how bad things are going for Trump, how bad public perception is of the current administration. They want Vance for 2028. So Vance is having to play cover. He's like, you know what? Israel, it's whatever. I'm still America first. He's trying to play cover because he's trying to save himself politically. And the administration knows that. They're trying to prop up and save Vance, but we all know he's kissing the wall behind the scenes. Yeah, just like this whole Iran war thing it's like what is it? The Twilight Zone. That's what it's like. 1 week, we're about to have an agreement. The next week, bombs dropped. Oh, we have an agreement. Next week, bombs dropped. Week after week after week. And that's by design because of the midterms coming up. We cannot go to full-scale war until the midterms are over. There's absolutely going to be an escalation of force after the midterms. And the administration knows that. That's why they're playing it safe, just doing a little drops here and there. There's only one way out of this, and that's full on escalation, whether it's ground forces or an increase in airstrikes. But it's going to get a lot worse after the midterms. You can count on that. And the irony is gas. We all suffer for this. No one voted for this. People supported Trump because of no new wars. He was supposed to bring inflation down. He was supposed to make everything more affordable. Nothing has changed. Gas is still crazy high, no matter if you're in Las Vegas, if you're in Florida. And this is another thing too, is the way it works is it's never going to go back to what gas was 12 months ago. So in Las Vegas and Florida, 12 months ago, gas was about $3.50, $3.40. It's never going that low again. This is the new normal. We're staying around $4 for years. We're never going below $4 again, as what most people pay. And you're a fool to think, oh, the average is going down. No one cares about the town in Oklahoma of 100 people that pays $2.50 for gas. Most of us are paying $4 a gallon. And this is how it's going to stay. even if we completely take over Iran, just like we did in Iraq, gas is not going down. And that's all by design. That's the politics of money, the politics of war. Wars are not meant to be won anymore. Iraq taught us this. Vietnam taught us this. We don't need to win the war. We just make it last as long as possible. Because if we win the war within the first year, the military-industrial complex stops. Politicians stop getting their kickbacks. The investments go down. We want a forever war. We want the 10-year wars. That's what they're doing with Iran, and they're ramping us up for China and Russia in the future. And yeah, JD Vance is just all the Jewish people are, Ben Shapiro, Levin are attacking him as part of their role to make it seem like he's really not with them, but we all know they're having dinner with each other every single night. And this is true. Trump did his address to the nation and talked about how election fraud in 2020, all these things. Okay, no one cares about that, right? He's trying to distract us from the disaster that's the Iran war, the disaster that's the affordability crisis, and the Epstein list. No one's getting arrested. Nothing is going to get unredacted. No one will be held accountable. So just accept that. Once you accept that, life becomes a lot easier. And what I said was, there's all these investigations into voting. How about we investigate American workers taking more of their money? We want more worker take-home pay, more unions. We want more say in our lives. We want less taxes. He gave tax breaks to the people that work overtime and tips. That's 10% of the workforce. And to add insult to injury, the tax on tips and tax on overtime, that goes away in 2028. You know what's permanent though? The top 10% keep their tax break. Yep. That's how that works. Now China builds a full-scale U.S. destroyer replica and they really want us. Their wet dream is the war with Russia and China. That's what they want. China does not have a full-scale.
Showing China building replicas of U.S. ships in the desert.
Yeah, so China does not have a full-scale military. That's a fact. They're an economic nation, not a war nation. But you can see here that they want us to believe that China is ramping up for some type of scaled attack, or they're building their military up. Right. Let's see what the Trump network is talking about.
With some now warning Beijing is using them to conduct military tests. Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin is reporting live on this out of Washington for us. Hello, Jen.
Hi, Sandra. Well, this is a 510-foot 3D replica of an Arleigh Burke-class U.S. Navy destroyer built in the middle of the Taklamakan Desert in China's Xinjiang province. Vantor, an American satellite company, tracked the construction over the past 6 months. The model could be used for potential targeting. It has an exact replica of the helicopter launch system on board, mast, bridge, and deck guns used on this particular American warship.
It's very detailed. I mean, it's super duper detailed compared to earlier ones. Now we've had
super duper detailed. We should be worried.
Targets before that clearly look like Arleigh Burke class destroyers, and we've had targets that clearly look like aircraft carriers. But this one is really just super detailed, which makes me wonder why.
Thomas Shugart, a former Navy submarine commander, said it's not the first time that China has made a replica of U.S. warships or fighter aircraft. In 2021, the People's Liberation Army built a mock U.S. aircraft carrier for what the U.S. military thought was for target practice. Now the Chinese may use the replica to train AI to recognize the shape of an American destroyer.
Maybe they have a weapon system, whether it's a drone or a missile or something that if they
All
send it
lies.
into a group of ships, they want it to be able to home in on and hit the right ship, the one they really wanted to get.
Others think these replicas were designed to be seen by satellite, a strategic message to the leaders of the United States and Taiwan. The Chinese military also built this exact model of Taiwan's presidential palace.
It's communicating to the United States and Taiwan that we are planning to attack you, that you should look for other paths, look for concessions. This is about message.
Oh, man. War is just a way of life in America, and we're never going to have an administration that is truly America first because of all the money involved in war. This is all such BS. They're doing everything they can to keep the Iran war going, and then once that's conquered and done with in a couple years, now we can focus on the real threat, Russia and China, the boogeymen. It's all such BS. It's just not true. DeSantis calls for revoking all Chinese students' visas over 2020 election claims. Okay. Never going to happen because of all the money he gets. Y'all need to understand the Chinese visa program, the government gets money from the Chinese government for this. So even if these claims are true, it doesn't matter. They stay, and the government keeps the money. It's just like the whole deportation thing, right? All Trump had to do was actually deliver on his promises, which was deport all the illegals, which was never going to happen. Never going to happen. But deport, start no new wars, completely relist the Epstein list, and make things more affordable. Pretty simple, right? The problem is you can never deport more than 10 million people in this country without disrupting the supply chain, without disrupting the economy. Okay? Doesn't matter how excited you get. Oh yeah, deport 40, 50 million illegals. Never going to happen. Because our economy relies on that cheap foreign slave labor. We also rely on the taxes. And it doesn't matter if half of all illegals are on government assistance, which that's true, but that doesn't matter. And I remember leading up to that 2024 election, the claims were the illegals are taking your houses. The illegals are killing Americans. The illegals are taking your jobs. While all that may be true, it doesn't lead to anything significant as far as change goes. If you magically waved a wand and deported all the illegals, say 40, 50 million, I guarantee you the housing crisis is not fixed. I guarantee you gas doesn't go down. I guarantee you the fraud, waste, and abuse in your government doesn't change. I guarantee you the job market stays the same because they rely on the farm workers to keep your produce cheap, your meat cheaper. If you deport them, guess what? Your fruits and vegetables are going to cost more. Instead of spending $30 a week on fruits and vegetables, you're going to spend $60. And most people don't want that. Construction. Drive around any construction site. Majority Hispanic descent. Not saying they're illegals, but most of these people are working very cheap, which allows for the costs to stay where they're at. I don't agree with it. I don't like it, but that's just the way it is. That's the reality. Until you hold corporations and businesses accountable, it's never going to change. Because that's how it should work, right? The corporation should say, hey, you know what? Government should enforce it. You're not getting any tax breaks. You're not getting any contracts. You're not getting anything from the government if you do not pay a true living wage to American citizens. It's not a matter of Americans don't want to do construction. They don't want to do physical labor. That's not the case. No one wants to work those jobs making $12, $15 an hour. That's the reality. And DeSantis is a fraud just like the rest of them. Florida's how, like, people think America's bad. Like, Florida's economy, sure, it's booming for the right people, but for the majority of people living in Florida, they cannot afford their house, their rent, gas, groceries. It's the same thing. Even though somehow their economy is like third or fourth in the whole country. Because what politicians say is true. They say our economy is great, and they're right. The problem is it's not right or great for most Americans. The way the economy works, it's two measures. It's the stock market and unemployment. If you don't have a significant amount of money in the stock market, you don't care about the stock market. And half of all the stock market wealth is tied to the top 20%. 80% of all money in the stock market is for those over the age of 40. So if you're age 18 to 40, you're screwed. You're screwed. That's just it. Because unless you have millions of dollars in the stock market, you don't care about the stock market. If you're employed, you don't care about the unemployment rate. But all these politicians have to do is keep the unemployment rate artificially low, which they do, because they don't account for people not even looking for a job, and the stock market. That's how the economy works. And just like the 2020 election, like we're still living and worried about the 2020 election instead of what's going on in 2026. We're still worried about 9/11 and U.S. policy. I get it. Tucker Carlson is a changed man. He's not a mainstream NPC robot anymore who was for the war when he was at Fox. He was a Fox propaganda host until his last year or two. He was kind of steering away, starting to wake up, starting to see behind the veil, behind the curtain of reality. We're still like, this is what we're talking about now? 9/11, really? Ideas of the U.S. or Israeli involvement in 9/11? Okay. Even if this is true, what does it matter? It's still going to continue. No one's going to be held accountable. And then
she would lower her voice, but very, very.
And then Ted Cruz, Mr. Israel. Because remember, those who bless Israel are blessed by Israel. I'm still waiting for my blessing. I'll take that in a check, though. And yeah, there hasn't been a legitimate criminal investigation into 9/11. But guess what? There never will be. Just like Epstein, just like COVID. So these are all like nice and funny, cute ideas, just like Tucker, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens. It's just to get people like, oh, wow, like, yeah, that is true. Until the people really unite and come together, these things are going to continue for the foreseeable future.
Every person in this room will lose on your own against Satan.
Let's see. So Erica Kirk shares late husband's Bible verse amid leadership scrutiny. Okay.
Every person in this room will lose on your own against Satan. Every single person, myself included. I'm not telling you have to fight this war. We're in the midst of this war, and some of us are trying to fight it for ourselves, right? And sometimes we go to earthly means to do this, right? We go to yoga class, we try like all these different substances. All I'm saying is you keep on going into the earth to try to defeat the king of the earth, which is Satan, you're going to lose. So instead,
it's true.
You just got to step out of the way, and you just got to worship and say, Jesus, can you just take care of this, please? Can you just come in here and slay this for me, and take care of this for me, and win this battle for me? That's what you got to do. And He will never, ever forsake you or abandon you.
And that's true.
Every person in this room will lose on your own again.
And that is the answer. That is the truth. And the thing with Charlie Kirk is I truly believe he was a great person, true patriot, true American, wanted the best for people, which is why they had to have him assassinated. Because he started questioning how things were kind of really working. He was questioning the Trump administration, questioning our foreign policy, questioning domestic policy. He truly understood the people. He led an entire generation of people to support conservatism, traditionalism, Christianity. He brought that to the colleges. He brought that to TikTok and social media. And he had a movement behind him, which was good until he started questioning the status quo. He started to question the administrations, the politicians, the donors, right? You can't question the power and the money. That's when you become a problem. When you step out of line, that's when you become a problem. I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just saying these are the facts. He would be truly critical of what's happening right now in American politics. He understood what needed to be done to make America successful. The issue is you cannot be nationalist in 2026. We live in a global economy. You cannot shut everyone out. That's just the reality. That's why they had to take care of him. He was assassinated because he was a true revolutionary.
Vice chairman of the Communist Party. He retired from a couple of those positions in 2003. He gave a speech.
Pro-Israel Republicans worry about the Democrats' anti-Israel tie.
I think they've been captured by crazies. I mean, you can see it in their elections by people who hate Jews.
It's the irony is, like, really look at when people talk like this, is that they support foreign countries more than their own country. That's when you kind of have to be like, something doesn't seem right. It doesn't matter if it's Israel or any other country. Why are people so fascinated by certain foreign countries? That's what you need to be aware of.
Pro-Israel Republicans worry.
I'm going to make the prediction now. If James Fishback wins, nothing's changing in Florida. I've lived in Florida. I know people in Florida. And it's not going to change. He is Trump 2.0. He's promising the world and is going to deliver nothing because where are his donors coming from? The millions of dollars backing him, where's that coming from? Ask yourself that.
ישראל לא תשתוק מול מי שתוקף אותנו. ספרד הכפישה את גיבורנו, את חיילי צה"ל, חיילי הצבא המוסרי ביותר בעולם. ולכן הנחיתי היום לסלק את נציגי ספרד ממרכז התיאום בקריית גת, לאחר שספרד בחרה שוב ושוב להתייצב נגד ישראל. מי שתוקף את מדינת ישראל במקום את משטרי הטרור, מי שעושה זאת, לא יהיה שותף שלנו לגבי עתיד האזור. אני לא מוכן לסבול את הצביעות הזאת ואת העוינות הזאת. אני לא מתכוון לאפשר לאף מדינה לנהל נגדנו מלחמה מדינית בלי לשלם על כך מחיר מיידי. ישראל לא תשתוק מול מי שתוקף.
Right. The most moral army in the world. Yeah, right. Okay.
Actually, what qualifications do you have to serve in the U.S. Senate?
Oh, I ran for office several
Look at that thing.
times. Didn't win, but I did run. And then I'm a songwriter, and then I write my own books. And then I suppose my transparency, I wouldn't lie to the people, and I wouldn't deceive the people like we're being deceived right now. Like, we get lied to, smoke and mirrors, like what's going on with ICE. Pretending like these victims did something wrong. Like, that's unacceptable. And I suppose the biggest thing is, like, I'm just an angry citizen now, and if I got elected, I'd be an angry senator, and I think that would probably be their worst nightmare.
Oh. The way I see it is,
ישראל לא תשתוק.
This thing is just like every other politician that already exists. That's how bad things are. She fits right in with all the rest of them, Republican or Democrat. Just pay really close attention to all the politics surrounding foreign countries, foreign influence, foreign finance, foreign. Where's the domestic intervention? Where's the domestic intervention at? Let's see how fake this is. So Tom Brady's being prepped to be like Jake Paul, Logan Paul since he left football. He's going to be like that next idolized celebrity. He's been involved with a lot of entertainment-like things in the past year. And this is 100% staged and agreed to upon before this happened. Watch Tom Brady's hand. You can see he was getting ready for this. And the contact he makes, Logan Paul already knew this was going to happen. They talked about this beforehand. Watch his hand. I pray for the people that think this was not staged. I pray for the people that truly believe this was not scripted. Because, man, the delusion that people have to think things like this were not agreed to beforehand. Jake Paul, Logan Paul, the entertainers, they're known to do these things. And you can just tell how fake this is. It's so sad. Yeah, this was definitely staged. And guess what? Tom Brady doesn't care. This dude's got so much money, clout, status, fame. He doesn't care.
Breaking news, guys. I just got a tape. I probably shouldn't share.
Exactly. This was real. Cat wouldn't have been able to hold Logan back. So fake. You understand? Tom Brady sold his soul. That's why he's having to play these humiliation roles and play a part in this nonsense, because he sold his soul. Yeah, he's going to be in the ring with like fighting or WWE. He's going to be doing something soon. That's how fake this all is. Yeah, completely fake. Come on. You can just look at the intent. This is so stupid. Can't believe people really believe this nonsense. But hey, this is what makes America great, right? Entertainment, AI, fights at the White House. You know, we just want to be entertained. It's sad. Women fail super easy questions test on whatever podcast. These girls come on here. They They play their roles. They're actresses as well. She knows what she's doing.
And what species are we?
Jewish.
Name 3 countries besides the United States.
Oh.
So funny, I forgot to laugh. These things are so staged. Xi Jinping is scheduled to meet the president. Yeah, I'm sure that he's canceling that meeting. No, he's not. If anything, their bond is more solidified. Y'all got to realize these world leaders, these politicians, doesn't matter, Democrat, Republican, they're eating steak dinners and having parties with each other behind closed doors. That's a good point. The president has been in office for over 540 days now. He's not indicting anybody.
Speech tonight. He's been in office over 540 days now. If what he says is tonight is backed up by evidence, why hasn't anyone been charged?
Well, he hasn't revealed it yet. He hasn't classified the documents yet, and you will see what he says tonight, and then we'll move forward appropriately
Right.
from there.
Tonight from the Justice Department?
I don't speak on behalf of the Justice Department, Caitlin. You know that. Rachel.
What a crock of BS. For people to believe this nonsense. Again, if you needed more evidence that that slap was fake and staged, come on now. It's all entertainment because entertainment is for fools. If you're watching sports, fighting, anything that's entertainment, video games, pornography, it's all the same thing. It's just to distract you, to make you numb, pacified, weak, gay. That's all entertainment is. Yeah, y'all should look into J.D. Vance's history. This dude got liberalized while he was at a Ivy League college. This guy had a transgender best friend while he was in college. These people are chosen decades in advance. Crazy.
This is Bryce Crawford. In the last 90 days, half the veteran
27 with 5.
How about a 10?
What's crazy to me is she thought this was a good idea. Showing a video of her simulating getting plowed from behind on the internet. How old is she? What a 53-year-old. It is just sad state of affairs.
I've been working.
Wow. What happened to white people? God. Oh, man. It's just so crazy. The psychology behind that. How do you... Someone explain this.
They taught you in...
Would you sit on the front porch with two single moms if we promised you good conversation and even better snacks? Would you sit on the front porch with two single moms if we promised you good conversation and even better snacks? Would you sit on the front porch with two...
Who makes the change for the swing is crazy. Oh, no. People will do anything for attention. I firmly believe most people will do anything for attention and validation. Looks like someone has not had their morning pumpkin spice latte. This is how I feel when I'm on the toilet. This is what you call like when you go poop, this is like the experience of pooping. Oh, man. And look, she even tells you right here why she did it. The comment section of my rage post, which garnered 500,000 views and keeps climbing, reminding me why the space is needed. Again, attention, validation, views, rage bait, all of that. The best thing you can do is don't like it, don't comment, don't share it. That's how you fight this idiocracy, this lunacy.
Ketamine does to you.
I'm gonna lie, I really don't feel attracted towards females right now. And I know what you guys are thinking. Oh, he's finally coming out of the closet. He's gay. No, nigga. I will never be gay. Besides the looks, which is like the most superficial shit there could be, I'm not rocking with how girls are acting nowadays. It's kind of like they just feel like they're too pretty to do anything. The mindset of like how you guys think nowadays is just...
As this dude is wearing makeup and has a skincare routine. All the women in the comments too. This dude is women pander, performative.
Go fishing at the buoy.
Chicken and fries, the beef duo. Taste that pork chop.
And ever.
You ask me what you want to ask me. Ask yourself. Is this...
Unfortunately.
27. I've been with rappers. I've been with fucking artists, athletes. I've been everywhere. I've had all the attention. I'm fucking known in my city. Like, that's not enough for you?
You could have just said ran through.
20.
You're on a date with a girl in 2026. Yeah, this is pretty accurate because most girls have access to celebrities, rappers. They go to the clubs for free, guest lists, drinks, all of that. Never date a girl that is from like Miami, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, New York City, any major city, because this is her reality.
27. I've been with rappers. I've been with fucking artists, athletes. I've been everywhere. I've had all the attention. I'm fucking known in my city. Like, that's not enough for you?
No.
27. I've been...
I never wanted.
No, that puts me between a rock and a hard place as some...
That's the other side of feminism, equality, right? So a lot of modern women want traditional treatment, but they behave like modern women. Think about that. And guys, you know, they realize, they see through the nonsense.
You can take it.
Your pussy
in your mid-50s in Vegas is wild. So I've been talking to this guy for about 4.5 months and haven't even gone on a date with him, haven't had a chance. I've been back and forth to Costa Rica, just haven't had time when I came back home. But at one point I did ask him, like, how has dating been for you in Vegas? Because he just moved here, right? And he says, I'm not dating anyone, I'm wanting to meet you. And I said, okay, sir, noted. So now, mind you, I actually could take or leave dating at this point. I'm at a point in my life where I'm very happy being on my own. But my friends keep telling me, you've got to get out there, Lisa. You've got to give it another try. I'm like, okay, fine. So fast forward to today. We finally make a plan for Saturday. We're going to do dinner and a concert at the Sphere. Cool, actual date. Been chatting about it all morning, trying to figure out where to eat. And then I go into a meeting, I come out, and on my phone, there's a text message that says, I'm really looking forward to...
It's the Swim Thick vlog. Welcome to my vlog. This is my friend. You want to shout yourself out?
Dizzy, we hear you deserve a massage too. Dizzy, shout that. Hey, Las Vegas. We here with the...
Oh.
Yes, we're businesswomen. We have our own...
Tell you exactly the kind of person they are without even having to ask.
I'm really glad everyone's here having such a nice time, and I hope you're having such a nice time, but that's subjective. Those are my own feelings. I really don't want to push that onto you. I'm really, if you're not having
it.
Man, too much brain rot. But that was 3 hours. So the first hour we looked at dating apps, we looked at Tinder, we looked at Bumble, we looked at Hinge, and we went through the profiles. I showed you the pros, the cons, good, bad, green flag, red flag, all that type of stuff, what to look out for in dating, modern dating, and how whether it's a dating app profile, online dating, in person, no matter what it is, it's the same concept where you want to avoid single moms, you want to avoid women that love to travel. And then the second hour, we looked at content on Reddit, on X, on TikTok. We looked at dating content. And then for that third hour, we did some political stuff. We talked about Iran, affordability, Trump's statement, all these things. And so, yeah, 3 hours went by like that. And I'm excited to do this and to continue doing this. This is my very first stream. And hopefully this provided some value, not just brain rot. I want to actually give you guys real practical dating advice and dating tips for relationships in 2026, what to look out for, and kind of making sense of the world, dating, politics, social media. Anyways, I'm glad